What's going on, everybody? This is your host, DJ Illist. Welcome to Game Mechanics, episode 21. Today we're going to go over the core mechanics of Tainted Grail, Conquest. This game can also be played in multiplayer mode. We're also going to go over the unique mechanics as well. Throughout the game, you would acquire new things, and that's going to be your game progress. That's going to include the heroes, factions, bestiary, NPC, and world. It is optional. You can set the difficulty level, and you can also set the ease of currency gain, ease of adventure, and also ease of combat. So you can see that your combat attributes to your right, and it works like a food chain hierarchy. So the top of the food chain is going to be your ultimate ability, and then secondary is going to be your passive skill. With the classes being distinctive to its own, whatever class you select is going to affect the behavior of your adventure and battles. So you'll get different behaviors of the replies and responses from other characters and enemies. So when you're dealing with reading the dialogue text or dealing with the audio dialogue, you have to pay close attention to both. Um, so what the fate of your adventure is going to be dependent on what choices and replies you make. The heroes acquired are like this. So each acquired item would show its avatar, be easy to identify with. Your items that you acquire, they're categorized by passives and masteries. Passives are going to be your not so important items, and then masteries, of course, is going to be your more important things you have acquired. The factions is just the cards you have acquired. Bestiary is just the enemies you have defeated, including the enemy bosses. So NPC is gonna log the progression of how much villages and towns you have completed. And with world log progression, that's gonna be a total of your land you have conquered. And the world would also log your progression of how much items you have discovered. After you have accepted a quest from a character, you can see a quick notification to your left with a brief message of a new quest. And to your right, you can see what specific objectives you're supposed to complete. There's too many color-coded cards to go over, so I'm gonna give a summary of those cards. So with some cards and with some factions that sometimes you can get dual abilities in one card. Um, you have other cards that can deal mild damage to extreme damage. Other cards would include having an attack ability, and then it would come with a consequence. These consequences can be mild to extreme. Other cards would include offensive ability along with a upgrade, so you get amplified benefit. You have cards that can reduce the enemy's armor. In this class of cards, you can also have this ability called multi-shot, so you can take multiple attacks on your enemy. You also have your defensive cards, which include blocking and also creating a barrier. You will have other cards that would have one ability, but it would come at the expensive. So expensive is like a sacrifice. The last card we're gonna go over is called Stun. So Stun is gonna stun your enemy, so you can get a head start on attacking your enemy. And here you can see that you have different forms of currencies. Each form of currency that you use to buy something can serve a specific purpose. When it comes time to pick a new card, you have to be very selective and decisive. You don't want a card that would jeopardize your future battle. You can also use your passive skills to amplify your combat abilities. You also have the mechanic of being selective with which enemy you prefer to attack first. The other strategy and other mechanic is that you can intentionally skip your turn or end your turn. This way you can get the most benefit possible out of your future turn. And you can use the same purpose for discarding a specific card in your deck. One of the unique mechanic about this game is that you can view your enemy's combat attributes, such as their armor and how much they can deal damage, and how much you could deal damage upon them. Another way to get an edge over your enemy is that you can intentionally exile one of your cards. So, along with your victory, you would also acquire other things such as coins and word stones. One unique mechanic is that you have plenty of different forms of currency to use. So, with each level that you complete, you can see how much cap limit there is until you reach the next level. The other unique mechanic I found in this game is that whenever you're interacting with a character, it's always analog. You're only getting a picture and no animation. You can also buy new weapons, items, and equipment to amplify your chances of winning. And along with that, you have to be careful about your spending. You want to get the most bang for your buck. Another way to be decisive in how you purchase your items is that you might want to save some money up until you see an item in a shop that catches your attention. Another way to enhance your winning of battles, you can buy these things called upgrades. Runestones are like perks. They're gonna give you an extra ability that's gonna benefit you during your combat. You have three types of runestones. That's common, rare, and mythical. Three runestones of the same name and level can be merged. This gives you a runestone dust and a runestone of the same name upgraded by one level only. And that concludes our video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe. And this goes for the same with the blue cards, your defensive cards. You don't want to mess that